Okay, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure having you. Happy Friday, guys. My name is Miss Wilma Danes. I am a teacher at C.I. Gibson Senior High School. Welcome to grade 12 geography. If you are new with us, please feel free to go back and look at all of the different resources that we have loaded for you, all of the different lessons that have been taught. If you have missed the lesson, you are free as well to go back and watch previous lessons on the Ministry of Education website. Now let's begin. So all this week we have been talking about migration, okay? And we know migration is simply moving from one place to another, whether it be for a long period of time, whether it be permanently, whether you are moving because you have to move, or whether you are moving because you want to move. All in all, that is inclusive of our topic on migration. On Wednesday, when I last saw you, we looked at some of the push and pull factors of migration. Okay, so before we begin, we're going to do a little quick activity. The quick activity, remember what we use for our answering questions. We usually use our chat tab if you want to answer a question. And if you want to ask a question, you can feel free to use our question and answer tab, or either myself or another panelist will be able to assist you in that endeavor. Okay? No one else can see your answers but me or another panelist. So feel free to answer to your leisure. Okay? So our subtopic for today's lesson, we're going to be looking at consequences of migration. Okay? I hope everyone is able to see that. So for a little quick activity, using the information that was taught last lesson, we're going to identify between these, I think it's 8. These, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, it's 8 different factors. Okay, we're going to be able to differentiate between, is it a push factor or is it a pull factor? So for this little activity, you can feel free to use your chat tab to supply me with the answers. So I'm going to go through them one by one with you, and you can state in the chat tab if it's either a push factor or is it a pull factor for migration. Okay, so let's begin. Agricultural decline. Would agricultural decline be a push factor or a pull factor? Okay, Marsha, I see you. Miranda, Kashard. Okay, I see all you guys. I see Keva, Samuel, Paris, Arjane. Arjane's a new name, actually. I haven't seen you all week. Okay, I have my regulars here. I have Marsha, Miranda, Kashard, Nathan, Keva, Samuel, Paris. Okay, I see all of you guys. I see the answers. Okay, I'm not giving you the answers as yet. We're gonna go over there. Okay, environmental degradation. Which one would that be? Okay, I see everyone coming in. Paris, Arjane, Samuel. I know you're new here. I know. That's why I said welcome. Welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you. Kosia, I see you. William, Paris. Okay, I see you guys. Kevra, I see you as well. Okay, good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Everyone so far has definitely gotten the answers correct. Okay, so if you have give me the answer, I've only seen correct answers so far. So everyone here is correct so far. Okay, let's continue. Economic opportunity. Would this be a push factor or a pull factor? Okay, excellent. All right so far. Good job. Overpopulation. Would overpopulation be a push factor or a pull factor? I see some of the answers there. Kosia, okay, I see you. Anthony, I see you. Okay. Any more answers? Overpopulation. Miranda, I see you there. Okay. So let's continue. So now we're on government investments. What about government investments? Is that a push or a pull factor? Okay, Samuel, I see you. Anthony, good job. Good job, Samuel. Kashad, I see you. Government investment, Kashad. Which one would it be? Push or pull? Lucia, Paris, Nathan, Keva. Good job, guys. Okay. Why did you say that, Kashad? Anyway, coming back to you. I want to hear your logic. Okay. Lack of career opportunities. Lack of career opportunities. Which one would it be? Okay. Richard, Anthony, Samuel, Paris, Kosia, Keva. Anyone else? Miranda, I see you. Arjane, I see you. Okay, lack of career opportunities, Arjane. Think about that again. Nathan, good job. Okay, let's go to number 7. Ethnic and family ties. Ethnic and family ties. Someone said, okay, Samuel, I almost said the answer just now. Samuel, Anthony, Nathan, I see you guys. Kosia, good job. Okay, Kev, I see you as well. Good job. Paris, good job. Romero, I haven't seen any responses from you. Sharonika, I haven't seen any responses from you. William, where's your responses? I'm in my attendees now. I want to see responses from everyone. I'm getting responses from the same people over and over again. Okay, I'm just doing this to make sure that you guys get an idea as of the differences between your push and your pull factors. Okay, Joshua. Okay, Altanika. Okay, let's go to the last one now. Security. What about security? Samuel, Keva, good job. Nathan, good job. William, good job. Anthony, Bishard, security. Someone is an anonymous attendee. I see someone in the question and answer giving me an answer as well. You just came up as an anonymous attendee. I'm not sure what your name is, so I can't call your names. I'm sorry. Okay, but good job. Okay, Paris, Miranda. I see all of your answers. So now I'm going to give you the answers and you're going to see if you were correct or you were incorrect. So intentionally, I didn't want to call the answers out because, of course, then everybody would have known what the correct answer would have been. Okay, so we're going to go now to our correct answers. And we're going to see what was which. Okay, so of course, agricultural decline is going to be a push factor. This is going to make people want to leave. Okay, because you're going to have very limited food supplies. You're also going to have lack of food supplies as well. Maybe you're not going to have accessibility to water. Okay, clean drinking water, that is. Okay, let's look at environmental degradation. That's also a push factor. Okay, remember here, so that's also a push factor. Okay, that just simply means that now your soil is becoming depleted. Okay, you're not being able to grow any more crops because now you have to find new land to actually farm on. Okay, so next you have your economic opportunities. Of course, economic opportunities are a pull factor. This is definitely one of those reasons why I want to come someplace. Okay, I want to see more jobs. Okay, I want my salaries to be increased. Okay, so you're talking about economic, you're talking about a lot of business, a lot of money. Okay, so even if you own a company and you want your company to be exposed globally, you may want to consider moving for more economic opportunities. Okay, next one is overpopulation. Remember I told you even when we looked at settlements, okay, how you have a lot of persons, and you even learned this under the topic of population as well, where you have persons actually having children for the purpose of labor. Persons having children to actually help to work their farmland. Okay, so you actually have, even in your farmland or your rural areas, you have things like lack of contraceptives. Okay, a lot of persons have a lot of social beliefs where they don't even believe in taking contraceptives. And this too will contribute to many persons being born versus your urban areas where you have now women now being more educated, women now wanting to focus on their growth and development within society. So instead of them being concerned about family development, they're now more concerned about advanced opportunities and now more concerned about the job areas. Okay. Next one, we have government investments. The government investment is actually a pull factor. Okay, that's actually a pull factor. Now you're seeing government now, they're taking care of the people. They're providing more services. They're providing more social amenities such as education and healthcare. Okay, lack of opportunity, career opportunity, that's definitely a push factor. You're not now being able to sustain your population. Okay, not sufficient jobs. Next, you have your pull factor, which is ethnic. I have to move this out of my way. Ethnic and family ties. So maybe you may have a relative living in the United States or in England. Okay, so these are some areas where you have a lot of migration coming from. So you may choose to live there. maybe permanently, maybe while you're going to college, okay? And last but not least is security. Remember what security means. Security means that you want to feel safe, okay? So you want to feel secure, okay? And of course, that would be a pull factor. That's something that makes you want to come to an area, okay? Whether it means that you're going to have more, you're going to be more sustained career-wise. Also, whether you're going to be more sustained when you think about food security, okay? Of course, job security, food security, education. You may even want to think about protection, whether you're getting more policing taking place. Okay, so those are just some of the different push and pull factors that we looked at last lesson. Okay, so let's continue. I have one more little activity for you before we move on. Okay, so let's look at this quick one. So last lesson, we also talked about these factors either being classified in these different groups, whether it's an economic factor, whether it's a cultural factor, or whether it's an environmental factor. One I missed was political. But we're going to look at these three for right now in this little brief activity. So using these three different terms, we're going to match them with each one of these situations or scenarios. Okay, so using the chat again, you can feel free to answer. So number one says, an area that has valuable resources may attract miners and engineers. Okay, an area that has valuable resources may attract miners and engineers. Which one of our factors do you think this will coincide with? And I actually would think that this may even be two, based on what I think. Okay, let's see what you think though. Let's see what you think. Okay, Marsha, I see you. Anthony, remember we're using the three terms at the top. Either economic, cultural, or environmental. Either economic, cultural, or environmental. So Marsha, I see you. Okay, Paris, I see you as well. Anyone else want to try? Anthony, I see you. Kosi, I see you. Miranda, you're the only one who gave me a different answer, and I like your answer as well. So I'm happy that you gave me that answer. Okay, so very good job. Okay, so good job, guys. Samuel, I see you as well. I see you. Okay, I'm not going to give you the answers until the end. So good job, everyone. Everyone so far is good job. Yes, Kellen, I see you. Good job. Excellent. Give yourselves a tap on the back. We're going to come back. We're coming back to that. Okay, so regions where warmer weather may attract migrants from harsher climates. Which one would this be? Regions where warmer weather may attract migrants from harsher climate. Okay, Marsha, you're up again. Good job. Alicia, I see you there. Anthony, I see you. Samuel, I see you. Hosea, Paris. Okay. Richard. No. Kev, I see you. Okay. So good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Let's go to number 3. A new industry lures factory workers, technicians, and scientists. A new industry lures factory workers, technicians, and scientists. Which one would that be? Okay. Kev, I see you. Good job. William, I see you. Anthony, Marsha, Samuel, Kosia. Good job, everyone. Paris, good job. Okay, I see all of your answers. All of them are correct. All of them are correct. Okay, let's go to the other question. Too much water, referring to flooding, or too little water, referring to droughts. Okay, what would this be? Too much water, referring to flooding, or too little water, referring to droughts. Okay, William, good job. Anthony, good job. Samuel, good job. Kemba, good job. Kosia, good job. Paris, I see you there. Good job as well. Okay, good job, everyone. Okay, let's go to the last one now. Refugees are forced to migrate because of home conditions, especially war. Okay, which one would this be? Excellent, Anthony. Good job. Okay. Anyone else want to try number 5 before we leave to our answers? No Kosia. No Samuel. Yes, Kosia. Good job. No Keva. Yes, Samuel. Good job. Okay, so let's look at all the answers. William, Paris, Nathan. Nathan, no. William and Paris, yes. Good job. Okay, so let's look at all the answers. Number 1. I'm going to go through all the answers. answers. Okay, so number one is definitely economic. Okay, and I would almost want to say, because that place is now offering more valuable resources, I would almost want to say maybe we want to consider environmental. Okay, because some places are lacking resources. Okay, but the answer is definitely economic. Okay, because you have now minus now coming in for things like jobs. Okay. Number two, regions where warmer climate. As long as you're hearing weather, that's associated with environment. Anything to do with the environment, and you're hearing things like weather and climate. Okay, so that's definitely environmental. Number three, a new industry lures factory workers. Okay, your things like technicians and scientists coming in. These are also economic factors. Okay, number four, too much water. Same thing as number two. It's talking about the environment itself and how the environment actually influences your movement. And that is also environmental. And number five, we have refugees being forced out, and there is going to be a cultural effect. Okay? So today, let's look at our objectives. So today, I intend to, like I said, look at the consequences of migration. And so our first objectives, we're going to be able to identify and list positive and negative impacts of migration. Number two, we're going to give examples of developed and developing countries. And number three, we're going to examine the impact of migration on source and receiving areas. So especially number three is what we're going to really focus our lesson on today. So let's continue. So when you think about, we mentioned source and receiving areas, you may ask yourself, what is the source? What is the receiving? Okay, so remember on Wednesday we spoke about immigration, okay, and immigration. Immigration and emigration. Okay, one with the I, one with the M. Okay, even sometimes when you pronouncing them, you get a little tongue twisted. Okay, so definitely one with the I, one with the M. Which one refers to persons leaving a country? Let me see some answers in my chat. Which one refers to persons leaving a country? E, immigration, or M, migration? Which one will refer to persons leaving a country? Let me see what you remember. Persons leaving a country. Marsha, you are correct. You're the only one I see correct so far. Carol, Paris, good job. Just you three I see have it correct so far. Okay, remember we're talking about immigration and emigration. Okay, yes, it is definitely E. Okay, yes, E. Okay, so E means to exit. So when you hear E, E means to exit. And when you're coming into a country, you would then be called an immigrant. Okay, immigrant with an I. Okay, so if you're leaving a country, you're an immigrant. But if you're coming into a country, you're an immigrant with an I. Okay, so immigrant with an I means to come into. Okay, so when you're leaving, when you're coming into. So because of that, now we're going to look at these source and receiving areas. So you're going to have positive and negative impacts surrounding your source area and positive and negative impacts surrounding your receiving area. I know far too often we typically just look at a negative aspect of migration. So today you're going to see how areas are being influenced from migration as well. So what is our source area? So our source area, these are the areas which the migrant actually leave. This is the source of the migration, where persons are leaving. Your receiving areas are going to be the areas where persons are actually moving to, okay? So source areas where you're coming from and receiving areas where you're moving to, okay? So you see I have a little picture here. So in this picture, we see here on our slide, what is our receiving area? What is the receiving area based on our slide of the picture that we have? Let me see some of your answers. What is the receiving area? Which country on my picture is the receiving area, guys? Okay, I'm getting an answer. Excellent, Keva. Excellent, Paris. Good job. Okay, so yeah, so the receiving area here is definitely the United States. Okay, remember I said what the receiving area is. The receiving area is the place where people are actually migrating to. Okay, and you can see some of the different source areas. Samuel, good job. See some of the different source areas. So some of the different source areas you can identify right here. Maybe it's Cuba, maybe it's Haiti, maybe Jamaica, maybe El Salvador. You have Mexico, you have Colombia. So these are different areas where persons are moving from. And you see all of them have one focus. They're going straight to your developed country. You have the United States. Okay, so let's continue. So we're going to look at some of these positive and negative impacts on the source and receiving areas. Okay, so this here is a list showing you some of your positive effects and some of the negative effects on your source areas. Remember I said what the source areas are. This is where you're moving from. So you may decide that, okay, you're going to move to another country because you want more economic stability. Okay, but then you're also leaving behind baggage to the country that you're leaving. Okay, so let's look at some of the different positive effects. We're going to go over each one of these. So positive effects on your person's leaving, you're going to have something called remittances. Okay, something called remittances. This is one of the positive effects of persons leaving. I'm going to tell you why it's a positive effect. Okay, and next one you're going to have higher quality of life, okay, availability of jobs, population decrease, okay, and benefit as it relates to short-term migration. You're going to have development of knowledge and skills. I'm going to explain each one of them to you. Let's look at some of the negative effects. So for the source areas, you're going to have brain drain, okay. You're also going to have your markets are going to suffer. You're going to have a disruption in the family structure, okay. It's also possible that you can have an imbalance of the age-sex population. I hope you guys remember what the age-sex population is. Okay? And last but not least, you have the absence of able-bodied men. So let's go over each one of these. So first I want to tell you what is a migrant remittance. Let's look at what is a migrant remittance. Okay? So what a migrant remittance actually is. So when you go to live in the United States, for example, and you have families back here in the Bahamas, migrant remittance is the money that you're actually making in that foreign country that you choose to send back home to your families. Okay, let's look at some examples right here in the Bahamas. You have Jamaicans, okay, you have maybe Haitian nationals, maybe Cubans, okay, that they come to the Bahamas, they make a livelihood, and the monies that they're actually making and they're sending back to their country is what you call the migrant remittance. Okay, and of course that could be a positive impact or positive effect because now you're going to have more income or more foreign dollars coming into that economy. Okay, another one we want to look at, brain drain. Is brain drain positive or negative to the source country? Anyone remember? Is brain drain positive or negative? Excellent, Kosia. Excellent, Marsha. So brain drain is definitely negative. Yes, Paris, Keva. Brain drain is actually negative. And why brain drain is negative? What does brain drain mean? Let's talk about what it means. Okay, so what brain drain actually is. So we have all of our skilled workers here in the Bahamas. Okay, where you have trained them from K to 12, from kindergarten to high school. You even went on to training them, giving them free education in universities as well. And you have your lawyers, you have your doctors, you have your teachers, okay, you have your accountants, you have your nurses. These are all skilled laborers, okay? And what would cause them to, what a brain drain is when these skilled persons, they now choose to leave the Bahamas and go to another country, okay? So they're taking their skills with them. So what they're doing, they're taking their brains, literally, they're taking their brain with them along with their skill that they have acquired over the years, and they're moving to another country. We saw the flyer I showed you the other day where you had those developed countries marketing for persons like nurses to actually move into their country. And what that is actually doing, it's going to cause a brain drain to the country that they're actually leaving. So if all of the professionals in the Bahamas, all of your smart persons, your skilled laborers in the Bahamas decide to move away, what's going to happen to the country itself? It's going to be brain drained. Okay? So when you have your skilled laborers moving from their home country into another country, their home country is now going to suffer from brain drain. Okay, let's look at another one. So when we talk about the absence of men folk, what do we mean is absence of men folk? So the absence of, so persons actually traveling. I don't know if you remember when I talked about the contract, okay? The contract that happened in the, I think it was the 1900s, where you had a whole lot of men. You had some females as well, but mainly were men moving away to farm in Florida. And what that actually caused, that caused an absent number of men in the actual society. So that left a lot of females now being maybe single parents. Okay, so a whole lot of your men are now moving away. You're going to have limited men actually staying in the country and causing a lot of single homes to happen. Okay, that also will influence our age-sex population as well. So when we think about age-sex population, you're going to have, when you think about persons who are migrating, those are typically your more vibrant, younger, skilled persons who are leaving. And if you have a whole lot of your young persons now moving, the persons that who actually make up your workforce, what you're going to be left with. So as a country, you're now going to be left with a lot of persons depending on you. And what, anyone remember what do we call that population of persons that depend on the government? And then remember what okay, Kev, I see you. Okay, so that population that depends on the government is called your dependency ratio. Those are your dependents. Okay, and who is typically considered your dependent? You have older people. Okay, you have all those persons under the age of 16 who are not able to actually work. They also depend on the government as well. Okay, so if you have all of your skilled laborers, all of your workforce now moving, you have a very large number of dependent population remaining. Okay, number 3, your disruption in the family structure. Same thing that I was talking about earlier as it relates to many of your men now leaving single family home. This also would be reflective of not having sufficient men in the labor force. Okay, not having sufficient men in the labor force. If you have a whole lot of your men leaving. So back in the day, you had men serving certain roles where the woman stayed home and the man worked the farm. So if now you have the men who are responsible for working the farm moving to another area, what's going to happen to your farm areas? If the females don't take the initiative to now work, the farm areas, they're now going to die. Okay? So let's look at, did I miss anything here? So availability of jobs. Okay, the availability of jobs. Of course, if you have persons leaving, you're going to have a lot of job opportunities also opening up. Okay, so maybe you're going to have too many job opportunities opening up now because you don't have the skilled laborers to actually meet the needs of the society. Population is also going to decrease, of course, because persons are leaving. Okay, and last but not least, the development of knowledge and skills. And like we see, this is associated with your short-term migration. So this is actually a very good thing. So if you have persons leaving the country, temporary migration, with the intent of coming back to the country, they're bringing that knowledge back with them. And possibly that they're able to train some of the individuals that was left behind. So that is actually a very good thing. Same thing as those persons going away to college. So after they have finished their college degree, they're now able to come home to share that same wealth of information that they have accumulated over the past 4-8 years in a different country. They're now able to come home and actually contribute to the development of that country. Okay? Let's continue. Let's now look at the effects of migration on the receiving areas. Okay, so these are now the countries that are receiving the migrants who are actually leaving their home country. Okay, so positive and negative, of course. So positive effects, you're going to see cheap labor. Cheap labor is a big thing. Cheap labor, okay, you're going to have skilled labor, and you're going to have cultural diversity. Okay, let's look at negative effects would be job loss, of course. You may be wondering, why are you experiencing job loss in a receiving area? when these areas are typically your developed nations. I'm going to come to that. Okay, we're going to have a lot of discrimination and racism actually happening. You're going to have some social and civil issues persons are going to be facing, social and civil pressure. You have breakdown of culture and traditions, okay? And of course, you're going to have a lot of diseases as well. So let's go through them. Let's talk about our positive effects first of all. So cheap labor. Why do you think we have cheap labor as a positive effect? Okay? Why do we have cheap labor? So firstly, you're going to have a lot of migrants coming into your country. And because you're going to have a lot of migrants, these migrants are going to do the jobs that no one else wants to do. Okay, this doesn't only happen in the Bahamas. This is an international thing. So when you have migrants coming into a country, yes, you may be saying, oh, they're coming for some more bigger, elaborate job. No, they just want to better their life. Okay, where they come from, there's no comparison. They can't even make the monies doing these little jobs that they would typically do back home. Okay, so when you think about your positive effects, cheap labor is paramount. Let's think about right here in the Bahamas, for example. What are some of those jobs that no one wants to do, but when the migrants come, they make a whole lot of money from it? I can think of one straight off the top. Farming. Farming is a big one. Okay, I see some people, landscaping, excellent. Excellent, Keva, excellent, Kosia. Those are the same two that I was about to mention. Farming and landscaping. Those are two careers or two jobs that persons who are migrants would typically, yes, Joshua, clean yard. Okay, so those are two jobs that make a whole lot of money. But you don't have the inhabitants wanting to actually be a part of that. So typically it falls on the migrants, and that causes cheap labor. So because of that same cheap labor that we are talking about right now, that also causes loss in jobs, okay? Because you have persons who are now willing to accept nickels and dimes for their I guess, acquired skill, okay? You don't necessarily need to pay Johnny over here $500 to clean your yard if you have Joseph over here only $150. Okay, so that's definitely a situation where you're going to have loss in jobs. Okay, same thing for factory workers. If you have a whole lot of factories, industrialized areas that actually move from developed nations into developing countries because the labor force is much cheaper. Okay, so that's another thing you could remember. So persons don't always move from developing to develop. Your person's moving from developed to developing because of things like cheap labor. Okay? We talked about skilled labor as it relates to brain drain in your source areas. Now the receiving areas are accumulating a whole lot of different skills, a whole lot of new brain power coming in. Okay? They're taking all the nurses, they're taking the doctors, the lawyers, they're taking the engineers, okay? Coming into these different developed countries. Cultural diversity. We see a lot of cultural diversity right here in the Bahamas. Let me hear from you, what are some of those different, or who are some of the different migrants that you think have culturally influenced the Bahamas? Let me hear some of the migrants that you think have culturally influenced the Bahamas. Come on, y'all, let's go. I don't want to run out of time. Okay, definitely Haitians, okay? Remember, migration is not always all bad. You have some good attached to migration as well. Definitely Americans. Which Indians you talking about, Keva? Person from India. Definitely Indians. Okay? Definitely your Greeks. We tend to forget our Greeks. Okay? Greeks have actually their church. They have restaurants. Okay? Don't forget your Chinese. Don't forget your Jamaicans. Okay, these persons have actually benefited the Bahamas. They brought a lot of cultural diversity. The Chinese, okay, you had a whole lot of European groups, the Britain. Okay, remember, it used to actually be a British colony. Okay, you have Indian doctors, Indian teachers. You also have a lot of Caribbean teachers as well, Guyanese, okay, Trinidadians, Jamaicans. Okay, you have a lot of Cubans. Don't forget the Cubans. You have a lot of Cuban teachers and doctors here in the Bahamas as well. So these are some of the different cultures that have culturally influenced us in the Bahamas. Okay, but attached to these cultural diversities, these people also are heavily impacted by discrimination and racism. And we are pretty aware of some of these same discrimination and racism that actually happened here in this country. Okay? So just as a reminder to you to learn to be sensitive towards migrants. All migrants are not illegal. All migrants are not illegal. Okay? And because you have a lot of cultural diversity happening, what does that also do to the Bahamian culture? Okay? If the culture is not strong enough, you're going to see a lot of your cultural traditions actually now being break down. Okay, so our culture here in the Bahamas is heavily influenced by Jamaican reggae. Okay, we're gonna be Rastafarian. Okay, we have a lot of American culture. We want to dress like the Americans, we want to speak like the Americans, and that is causing us to lose who we are as a people. Okay, and last but not least, you have disease. Okay, disease is also another thing that we can be negatively impacted by. We see right now, we're actually home because of coronavirus. Okay, and who's going to bring the coronavirus into the country? Of course, Bahamians too will bring it because they are migrants, they're traveling back and forth. Okay, you have also other nationalities traveling in and out of the country that's going to bring these different diseases with them as well. Remember when we had Ebola, we had the same situation. Okay, so migrants actually come with different diseases, especially depending on the source country that they are moving from. Remember, a lot of those source countries don't have proper water facilities. Okay, so these persons are definitely going to come with their diseases. One last thing I want to bring to your attention. So I have a little picture here. You're able to see skilled migrants moving to your receiving areas. Okay, you see this lady in the back here telling this sir here, he is a cricket player. You can see he's a cricket player in the back of the line. She's telling, move up, you know, we need you we need you. Okay, you see this person here in the little graduation attire, we need you. You have your doctor. Okay, this person here may be a minor. Okay, so they always are there advertising for these different careers. Look at the picture down to the bottom. The man say, what? More doctors? You know, more doctors coming to this area. Okay, so these are definitely some of the different careers. You see journalists, accountants, automotive technicians, you have nurses, you have athletes. Okay, countries actually recruit athletes all the time. Okay, so you may have an athlete who's born Jamaican running for the United States, for example. Okay, let's continue. We're running out of time, so let's continue. So you have your Ministry of Education. This is another problem you have experiencing as well. Because not because you're going someplace for a job, meaning that you're going to have job actually waiting there on you. Okay, so a lot of times the job market becomes congested. It becomes overflowing. So you see this guy here, he's saying he's going to work for food because he came to this country looking for this job and now the job is not available. Okay, same thing. Everyone here going to the Ministry of Education. Okay, these are some pretty funny things. You see unemployment at the bottom here is actually cramming this guy. Okay, the other guy is also looking for jobs. You see brain drain happening here. So this Ireland, also now Ireland want to consider closing up that loop. What are you going to do as a country or as a government to stop your skilled workers from moving to another country? Okay, maybe you want to be like Ireland and say, clog it up, close the drain. No more persons leaving because of whatever reason. So we didn't talk about the melting pot, okay? We talk about cultural diversity. So what a melting pot is when you have many different cultures coming into a particular region. And so now it's a melting pot of different cultures, etc. Okay, you can feel free to go back to this slide. You see overpopulation can also be an impact on the receiving areas. This is a picture of New York City, where a whole lot of persons have now migrated to. So now it's cramming over with persons. Okay, the age-sex population have also been influenced, have been affected. Now you have, look at the age-sex population. Okay, maybe now you have more men and more females. Okay, I just want to cover this before we leave. So who is an illegal immigrant? So what makes a person illegal? Okay? So when you're undocumented and you come into another person's country, you cross their borders without the right procedure, then you're considered illegal. So I don't want to see anyone using this term in, with using immigrant is someone who is legal. An illegal immigrant is someone who is illegal, okay? This person can also be considered illegal when they stay over their time. When they stay over their time. So please feel free to go back onto the site, get this information. Okay, so one last thing, let's point out. So some of the measures that have been taken right here in the Bahamas to alleviate our illegal immigration problem. Okay, so what are the Bahamian government what are they doing constantly? So you have border protection, you have raids and apprehension, okay? You have persons being deported or repatriated, okay? You have operations such as your detention center. The fact that they have a detention center in the country means that the government is trying different initiatives, okay? And last but not least, they want to have a discussion with the countries where these illegal immigrants are actually migrating from to try and alleviate this problem. So let's quickly go over a quick assignment, okay? So which country experiences the largest number of refugees emigrating? So leaving the country, that's what emigrating means, to leave the country, okay? Which one of these countries is it? Sudan, South Africa, or Syria? Which one? A, B, or C? Let's go, guys. Let's quickly answer. Let me see what your answers are. Someone said B. 2 people said B. Okay, the answer is actually C. So Syria actually has the highest number of refugees, persons leaving the country. Number 2, identify the country below that is experiencing a brain drain. Is it England? Is it China? Is it the Bahamas? Is it Nigeria? Which one of these countries are experiencing the brain drain? Someone said B, China. Anyone else? Is it Asia? Ms. Sanders, I see you. Kashad, I see you. Paris, Nathan, you are all wrong. Okay, the answer is E, all of the above. Okay, all of these countries have experienced brain drain. Persons leaving the country, taking their skills with them. Let's do number 3. Countries losing migrants may also lose which one of the following? Persons losing migrants may also lose mostly highly skilled population, younger population, a population of a particular gender, or all of the above. Which one would it be? D. Good job, Ms. Sanders. Okay, good job, Kevo. Good job, Kosia. Good job, Nathan. D is definitely the answer. Okay, last but not least, number 4. If not properly screened, migrants can spread what? If not properly screened, migrants can spread what? Definitely diseases, okay? What is the most notable way that migrants may be beneficial to the areas they are migrating to? What do you consider the most notable way that migrants may benefit an area they're migrating to? Anyone know? How can migrants be beneficial to the areas they're migrating to? We just talked about it. Okay, I'm going to give you the answer since we're short for time. Cheap labor. Cheap labor. Which 2 developed countries does the Bahamas receive most of its migrants from? Which 2 developed countries? Anyone know? Not China. Developed, Ms. Sanders. Developed. Which 2 developed countries? I'm going to give you the answers. If you can't say America, remember America's a broad, there's a problem you have when you're answering questions, especially for your final exam. You can't say America. America's a broad topic because you have America meaning North and South America. Okay, if you're referring to the United States, you have to say United States. Okay, so our 2 developed country is definitely the United States and England. I'm going to do this quick last one and we coming out. Which 2 countries in this region may seek asylum in the Bahamas? Okay, and the answer would be Cuba and Haiti. Cuba and Haiti. So that's our lesson for today. We see you again on Tuesday. See you again. I'm getting text messages saying Miss Dames, time up. Okay, so these are all the answers. So Cuba and Haiti will be the 2 countries that actually seek asylum to the Bahamas. Okay, England and North America, your 2 developed countries. Okay, cheap labor. Okay, so I'm gone. So you have this information, your review questions that will be uploaded to the site. Please feel free to use these to go over with them and broaden your knowledge. It is always a pleasure being here with you. I look forward to seeing you again next week.